Welcome to day 2 of the 10-day guitar course. Yesterday was an interesting one as a bit of an overview for you of the guitar, strings, various different elements to get you started. We gave you a very simple song to start with, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So today we're going to learn some basic open chords. We're going to teach you the 3-string ones and the 6-string one. We obviously want to learn our favourite songs, and most songs have some chords in it. Now it's going to take a bit of time to get used to them, but by the end of this lesson we're going to learn 3 more chords. We learnt the E minor and the G yesterday, the mini ones. So we're going to add in C and D onto the list here. So the first one is the C major. So the easiest way to do it is looping your finger over the 1st string and putting your finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Now, as you can see, my finger has got a massive loop on it. So it's a little bit tricky to get over that 1st string, but if you're able to do it, it's going to sound a bit like that. Now, you want to be pointing backwards so that you can put enough pressure so it doesn't do that. If you've got a muted sound here and the top string is muted, it's because you need to push down a bit harder. You have to make more of a loop, as you can see there. Make a nice circle there. So that's the C chord. Next we have the G chord that we learned yesterday. That's the 3rd fret of the 1st string, bottom 3 strings. And then we have D. The full D is like this, but we're just going to learn the mini D for now, and then later in the lesson I'll teach you the big C and the big D chord, okay? So the D chord plays the 4th string now, so that's this one, the D string. Then you put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then you put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now if you want to play a full D chord, you also put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the thinnest string, just like that. Okay, so C, 1st fret, 2nd string, D, 2, 3, 2. In terms of frets, and then 1st finger, 3rd finger, 2nd finger in terms of fingers. Then we have the G chord, which was the 3rd fret, 1st string. Now to make the full G chord, you're going to put your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the thickest string and your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. This is called the E string and the A string, 6th string and the 5th string, as you saw in the last lesson. This is the thickest string, 6th string, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. So 1st is always the thinnest. So we got 3rd fret, 2nd fret and 3rd fret again. Again, pause the video at any time if you're getting stuck at all. Next we have the C chord, where we learnt that it was the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Then we're going to use these 2 fingers on the 2nd fret of the 4th string and the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Now it can be a little bit tricky to do this. If you've never ever played before, this is going to be quite tricky, but some people have played a little bit, some people can just do it. So I'm teaching it to you anyway, just in case. But if not, thin strings, 3 thin strings is the easiest way to do it. So the best way to practice chords, which is something that was taught to me by the G4 owner David Hart, was when you're practicing your chords, you strum the chord, you take your hand completely off the guitar. You can slap your knee if you really want to, and put it back on. Now put a timer on for 1 minute, strum the chords, take your hand off, and put it back on. So if you're doing the full chord, make sure it's all coming out, come off and on. And what you'll find is that over the minute you'll start to get a little bit quicker. And as the days go on, you start to get quicker and quicker. It does take a little bit of time. Same with the C chord, just make it, even if it's 1 finger at a time. Try and strum all the strings. If something's not coming out, try and fix it, but if not, just keep going. Take your hand off and then try and form the chord again. And then strum it and take it off, okay? And keep trying to formulate it. Now you're going to fumble, so there's going to be notes that are muted and strings that aren't coming out properly. You're going to hit the wrong notes. That's okay, just keep taking your hand off and keep trying to place it back in the correct location. Once you've done that, a minute on each of those, you can try doing a minute changing between two chords, even if it takes ages. So you get your G and then you're slowly trying to do the C, give it a strum, and then you're taking your hand off, trying to then form the G. It's going to be really slow to start with, but that's absolutely fine. The thin strings are a little bit easier, so you're just doing one finger, but still practice just going between them. The bigger chords takes a bit more time, but as you keep doing those minutes each day, it will slowly get quicker and quicker and quicker. That's the fastest way that I've found to get your chords right. Next, we're going to do some strumming, some simple rhythm. So today we're just going to do very, very simple. We're just going to strum on the beats like this. 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can either use a plectrum or a pick, and you can strum the strings, or you can use your thumb. Okay. So nice and simple. And then you move to the next chord, and then maybe the next chord, and then try and move to the next chord. Don't worry about the gaps between the chords at all. Just have a go at doing some basic strumming on the beat, strumming down as you go. Now, with those chords, you can play a plethora of songs, which is super awesome. You can do it with the mini ones, or with the big ones. First song we're going to learn is called Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. Really famous song. Really recommend listening to it a few times if you haven't heard it. Now, the pattern goes G chord, then C, and then G chord, and then D chord. And that just keeps going round. G, and then C. So do it super slow. G and then D. And you might not be able to sing along straight away, but that is the whole song. Hey, there we go. Days when the rains come, okay? Down in the hollow, playing a new game. So you can see, even though we're just strumming them once, it sounds really, really nice. You might not be able to form the chords perfectly yet, but you'll be able to get a flavour of the song. Now that's pretty much most of the chord pattern there, G, C, G, D. There are some slight variations here and there, which we're not going to go into right this second, but that will get you through a good 80% of the song. So have a go, G, C, G, D. And have a go at going through those chords, nice and slow. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and we look forward to seeing you in day 3 of the course. Remember, rewatch it as many times as you like, keep pausing it, going on and off, doing the simple strumming, and having a go at Brown Eyed Girl. Great to see you, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care, bye.